Good evening. Thank you for tuning to WZBX News on this March 10th, 2010. It seems that Lehman Brothers, although they collapsed in 2008, may have cooked their books. A recent report has indicated that in this month, auditors have found that Lehman Brothers in fact cooked their books to make their assets seem much higher than they were and make the company much more profitable. For news on this, we turn to Kiran, a reporter on the street outside Lehman Brothers.
Thank you, Peter. I'm here on location at the Lehman Brothers headquarters. At 1:45 a.m. on September 15, 2008, Lehman Brothers filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection following the mass exodus of most of its clients, dramatic losses in its stock, and devaluation of its assets by credit rating companies. Lehman Brothers bankruptcy filing is the largest bankruptcy in the U.S. history thus far, and is thought to have played a major role in the unfolding of the late 2000s global financial crisis. The following day, Barclays announced its agreement to purchase Lehman Brothers' North American investment banking and trade divisions, along with its New York headquarters building. Back to you.
Thanks, Kiran. Now we're going to go to Studio 3A for our financial analyst, Nick Bosted, who's going to describe what a Repo 105 scandal is.
Well, thanks for having me, Peter. It's a pleasure to be here. What I'm doing today is trying to explain the mechanisms behind a Repo 105 transaction so that the public can better understand what Lehman Brothers was doing. The accountants at Lehman Brothers were pulling off a Repo 105 transaction, which is an accounting maneuver where a short-term loan is classified as a sale. The cash obtained through this sale is then used to pay down debt, allowing the company to appear to reduce its leverage, temporarily paying down liabilities, just long enough to reflect on the company's balance sheet that they are making cash and in fact don't have all these toxic assets. After the financial reports are published, the company then borrows cash and reassigns. They take back their assets. Lehman Brothers was using this for a long time to remove toxic assets from their balance sheet and make it appear as if they were bringing in lots and lots of sales, millions of dollars of sales. Unlike other companies that use the repo, the values of securities Lehman pledged in the Repo 105 transactions were worth 105% of what they received. In other words, the firm was already taking a haircut on its transactions, meaning they were losing money each time they did this forgery in an attempt to make their balance sheet look better. When Lehman eventually repaid the cash it received from its counterparties, it did so with interest, making this a rather expensive technique. They lost a significant amount of money doing this, and that's what ultimately led to the destruction of the company. So I have a diagram here to show you what exactly a Repo 105 transaction looks like. So in the middle we have Lehman Brothers here, and what they would do at the end of each fiscal year or quarter is dump their toxic assets into a company called Hudson Castle. Hudson Castle would then pay cash to Lehman Brothers, making it appear that Lehman Brothers was in fact better off than they really were. Now, after this was all said and done, and the accountants and auditors looked at Lehman's books and thought everything was well and good, Lehman would pay back the cash with interest and take back their toxic assets, leaving them down without a lot of money there. So that's what led to their destruction. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you, Nick. And here with me now is Megan Weck, one of 26,000 employees who lost their jobs when Lehman Brothers folded. Thank you for being on the program, Megan.
No problem.
Could you tell us your story?
Yeah. Well, like the other 26,000 people that also got involved in this scandal, I looked at their balance sheets initially, and it seemed on paper that Lehman Brothers actually were making a lot of revenue, but in reality, they were actually losing a significant amount of money. I lost a lot of money overseas because they had decreased the value of foreign and domestic markets, so I lost a lot of money there. So right now, I'm like many others, I'm suing Lehman Brothers after this scandal. So
I see. I hear you also lost your house.
I did. I had to sell my house. I'm trying to downgrade because I need to get more money.
I'm sure those legal fees are expensive.
Oh, they are really expensive.
Thank you for being on the program.
No problem.
Now we're going to go to Frank, who's going to talk to us more about the Lehman Brothers scandal.
Presently, Lehman Brothers is facing heavy legal action for their part in the scandal. As you heard earlier, many former employees are seeking legal compensation so that they may recover some of the funds they have lost. Also, CEO Dick Fuld and other top executives may face jail time and heavy fines if they are convicted of fraud. Oh look! It's Dick Fuld now! Do you have anything to say about this scandal?
I'm late for the country club disc golf tournament.
I know, I'm sorry, but can you just comment? Can you give us some further clarification about what's happened?
I think there's been an accounting oversight here, and I'm very sorry to all the victims, but we're going to let it play out in the courts before we make any further comment. Thank you.
Thank you. So, you heard it first from Dick Fuld himself. Back to the studio.
Thanks for that informative interview, Frank. As you can see, the Lehman Brothers scandal has touched both the domestic and foreign economies. After the break, you'll see a local high school teacher has trouble removing Velcro from the board. Preview up next. Thank you.
You're almost there.
We don't sleep when the sun goes down.